Hey everyone, I'm Tassenix. Welcome back to another mod guide video. We're pressing on with the series here covering the 501st Legion, and we've gotten to Arc Trooper. So he's an amazing attacker for this team, brings quite a bit to the group. Before we dig into his kit, I'd like to start by covering the leadership that he'll operate under. We'll assume that you're going to be mostly having him under General Skywalker, so let's talk about General of the 501st. Now this doesn't cover the full detail of the leadership. A lot of it has to do with General Skywalker himself. I do have a link to the General Skywalker video in the description here on this one, so follow up with that for full details. But in terms of how this leadership impacts ARC Troopers modding, let's consider first, all units can't be revived. So as big as you mod them to be the first time, that's all the life they're going to get. All 501st allies have plus 50% critical damage. Outstanding. And then when an enemy gains a buff, all 501st allies gain 2% offense, stacking until the end of the encounter. Alright. So now that we've covered that, let's dig into his kit. I want to cover this blast. I usually go for uniques first, but I think I want to cover that after I discuss the other stuff. So let's go ahead and talk about his basic Crossfire. Deal physical damage to target enemy. If they had no buffs before this attack, deal 30% more damage. Nice. Alright, his first special, Assign Command. Deal physical damage to target enemy. If the blaster turret is present, spoiler, it should be at the start of battle here, give command to target other clone ally until they are defeated or until command is granted to a different ally. And command says the blaster turret assists whenever this character uses an ability during their turn. Okay. Alright. Let's talk about his first unique, Arc Arsenal. Arc Trooper has plus 35% counter chance. Arc Trooper always has command while the blast turret is present and summons a blaster turret to the ally slot at the start of the encounter and when he revives. So, you know, if you're using him in some application where he can be revived, not under gas lead, then your Arc Trooper will bring back the blaster turret. The blaster turret will assist when Arc Trooper attacks out of turn. Okay? So he always has command, and he can give out command to one other clone ally. So that means that your summoned blaster turret will assist both characters. And let's read about the blaster turret itself. It has a basic ability, Shattering Blast. Dispel all buffs on target enemy and deal true damage to them, which can't be evaded. And as we'll see in the next section, the stats of this turret depend on the summoner. The summoner is Arc. So the damage that this turret does is going to be scaling off of ARC Trooper's offense. And since it does true damage, we know that this damage cannot critically strike. Okay. So about the unique summoned object, this object's stats scale with the summoner's stats. This object can only be summoned to the ally slot if it's available. This object can't be summoned in certain raids. Object can't be revived. If an effect counts defeated units, this object doesn't count. When there are no other allied combatants, this object escapes from battle. A unit can't be revived if this summoned object exists in their slot. And then the next unique, the object properties. Okay. This object can't be targeted, is immune to damage and status effects, and does not take a turn. When there are no allies with command, the blaster turret is destroyed. So, yeah, it starts at, it's there at battle start because of ARC Trooper's other unique, right? You can't interact with it in any meaningful sense. As either an ally or an enemy, you can't actually target it. It doesn't get turns of its own. It's only assisting its allies with command. And importantly, it's something you might have to think about later in the fight. You know, if you can kill ARC Trooper and whoever is the other designated ally with command, you can force the blaster turret to despawn before the fight otherwise ends. So, important detail to know. Alright, a brief note on team comps and turn order. So yeah, everything shown here is in terms of desired turn order. I like Rex as my fastest, followed immediately by ARC Trooper. He's a decently fast character, and we actually want him using his abilities pretty often. So even though we'll put him in a decent amount of offense, it's pretty easy to have him be comfortably faster than Gas. And we really don't want more than two characters out going ahead of Gas for the sake of feeding Turn Meter into the Wampa matchup. That's generally why you really don't want more than just like these first two characters ahead of Gas. But for more details on team comps and turn order, I did cover some in the Gas video, so check that out. Okay, and of course for 5s, you showed the main comp here. For 3 versus 3, you might consider that ARC Trooper can be used with General Skywalker and Echo, giving you an intact Rex team that you can use with 5s and some other Galactic Republic ally. A lot of people use Captain Rex. Some people historically have used Zaris to great effect. But there's a breakup that can be done, and this is a pretty good offensive team with Gas, Echo, and ARC Trooper in 3 versus 3. That said, let's jump right back into his mods. So, I go for a pretty decently fast offense set. Now, you're thinking that, you see I got him in a 2-piece of critical chance, and you're thinking, oh, so this is probably a crit damage triangle. To maximize his own personal damage, a crit damage triangle would be great, right? However, to give the most offense into the turret, you can make a strong argument for this being an offense primary on the triangle, okay? So, maybe if I was really crazy, I could have this be a really fast offense arrow. That might be something worth looking into for me long term, but it is a speed. I've got an offense cross, a health circle. Again, I think for the attackers on this team, and I guess for you, I don't mind him being health primary. It doesn't matter so much, I think, about this primary here, okay? What you really want to worry about is the offense. I'm going to go over the amounts here in just a second, but I want to say one other note. This is a crit chance triangle. Now, I was just saying that this could be crit damage to boost his own offense potential. Because remember, under Gas lead, all 501st allies have 50% critical damage. So indeed, he would slap really hard. But when I originally modded this guy, I put him in offense to boost the blaster turret, like we discussed. And then as time went on, Gas can be used to effectively counter Rey, and you do want allies, as many as possible, that are capable of reliably critically striking to remove inspiration from Rey. So the meta shaped up some months ago where there was a lot of crit avoidance that people were stacking into their Reys. And for that reason, I had to make sure that he had a really high amount of crit chance to do that. So I made sure that he was up over 100% crit chance. Now, right now, we're in a resistance Datacron meta with Rey. This isn't necessarily set up for greatest effect right now, but at the end of this 5 vs 5 season, that Datacron set expires. People will probably swing back into a light side bulk set 15 cron, which does feature some crit avoidance, so this might be coming back into vogue. However, I will say, I've got some really great secondaries baked into this guy, because if this was an offense primary, I used to have him just over 12,000 physical offense anyway. So I've really sacrificed nothing because of the incredible % offense secondary on this mod. I just wanted to give you that detailed breakdown. I would say, in general, for the team benefit, I would say offense over crit damage. Crit damage really only benefits ARC Trooper himself. Crit chance is really great if you want to have that corner case availability of having high reliability on your critical strikes if you're using Gas to counter Rey. Otherwise, you don't need to worry about it so much. But aside from that, yeah, you want him faster than Gas. I said in the Gas video you could have him as low as 260. I think ARC Trooper can pretty comfortably be around 280 speed. A lot of players up in my neck of the woods push him right up on and over 300. I've got him at 292, so this is decent. He could be a little faster and it wouldn't break my heart. But the idea here is you want to stack a ton of offense on this guy to give a lot of benefit to the blaster turret. And yeah, aside from that, just as much speed as possible, and crit chance if you dare to have him be something that you want against Rey. So that about covers that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to show in this view. So yeah, plus 115 speed gets you to 290. That isn't a crazy, crazy ass, but it's really just about tacking on this offense, okay? All right, a last note on compositions here about applications for this team. So I've covered this in the gas video just briefly, but under gas 501st lead, you're using this to destroy anything that's about getting a lot of buffs or exploiting revives, all right? Arc's just going to help you get at your targets of opportunity because that blaster turret will give himself and one other ally the ability to dispel a single target at will, you know, and do significant true damage if you've baked a lot of offense into Arc Trooper. So that's kind of where he fits in the plan. As far as 3 versus 3 goes, yeah, you're just going to use him like Gas Arc Echo is usually the most common application, and it's just going to be the same idea. You're going to try and run roughshod over somebody that's using revival mechanics, relying on a lot of buffs to get the job done. So I'd say that about wraps it up here about Arc Trooper. So thanks again for watching these videos. If you've enjoyed it, please give it a like. Subscribe to the channel if you want to be informed when more videos come out. And really appreciate all the encouragement and positive comments here on these videos. I do appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. And of course, until our next video, it's been real, it's been awesome, it's been real awesome. Take care.